I would be willing to say he's not a better forklift driver than me because none of you guys can beat me. But
I don't even have my license to operate a forklift.
Well, neither did any of us. We just kind of picked it up. But like with Eli, I can't tell you how many things I had to fix because he'd break bins and he bent a stainless steel bin like in half one time, and those are pretty pricey themselves. And so I had to tell Zeke because I had to hide the bin. Because Eli bent it, and I'm like, how did you do that? These are indestructible. They're designed to not do that specifically. And so I had to tell Zeke when he got on a shift, I was like, Zeke, you gotta fix this thing before Dad comes in tomorrow. So on Zeke's graveyard shift, he fixed it. He
Hit the star, damn it!
You guys bend it. Oh, nope.
Come on.
There it goes. Now you're cooking. No, but like, I had to tell Zeke, like, Zeke, you gotta fix this before Dad comes in tomorrow, or he is going to flip out, and he's gonna get mad at me. Then he's gonna tell me I have to get mad at Eli, and I just don't have I already got after him once. I don't need to get after him twice. But like, oh my gosh, like so, for the most part, like if I sent you to go do something, Peyton or Tanner or even Gavin, it would get done. If I sent Jake and Eli to do something, I would never see them again.
Oh, no.
Between the two of them, it was like I couldn't get jack done. Anything. I'd be like, hey, look, okay, get this, see this stack of stuff? I need you to take it from here, move it over here, then clean here, then move said stuff back the way you found it and or in a more condensed form.
That's it.
Fairly succinct stuff. Or, this is a hole that needs to be dug. Let's dig it. Okay, and one time, I swear, they got 6 inches in 4 hours. They dug down 6 inches, and it wasn't even that hard of a dig. It was muddy water for sure, and it sucked. And like, I mean, there's a reason I had them do it because I didn't want to. But it was just like, I don't know. It was just one of those things where I just wanted to get the job done, but it's like, put them in the hole, and I come back, and it's this kind of crap. Like, I put them to, like, there's one specific hole. We'd always had a leak in, like, this faucet for some freaking reason. I don't even know why. Like,
was it an outdoor faucet?
Yeah, I'm not a plumber. It was on the corner of the metal shop or whatever.
Exactly
Yeah. It was always broken in one way or the other. I have no idea what the heck the problem was. And honestly, I think it was because of the septic tank that was right there. But I'm not a plumber. I dug up that septic tank twice, though.
Oh, shoot. I missed a bunch.
So, so I sent Jake and Eli to dig that out again. I knew exactly where the pipe was going to be, so I'm like, hey, this is as far down as you guys need to go. So it's not like you have to do anything too crazy.
Not like a foot or something.
No, it wasn't bad at all. Like, I mean, it wasn't easy by any stretch of the imagination. I come back and they both got like mud war paint or some bull crap on their face from this, and it's like, where's the hole? And one time I told him, dig this hole, because there was a hole already there, and Eli comes and he's like, hey, we just got the hole done. Oh, great, okay, cool. So I'm gonna grab the plumbing parts. Let's get it fixed. So I go out there and they had covered the hole, and I'm sitting there. And Eli's standing there all proud with his shovel, like, yeah, I did a good job. And there's this freaking, like, they covered it. I was like, where's the hole? Oh, I thought you wanted us to cover it. Oh my gosh, for the love of all those holy, I gave you shovels, a pick, a bar.
And you thought you wanted
you wanted it covered? And so then they're like, yeah, I thought that's what you wanted. Oh my gosh, that's anything I say. I'm sitting there like so, like, you know where most of my baldness came from? It was for
all the stress from the farm.
It was from managing new people. I was kidding.
That's true. I don't blame you.
That's me.
No, mine is Tanner.
Oh yeah, mine is Tanner. He probably helped you clean like that last little bit.
That and then making fun of Zeke when he falls asleep on the job.
That video you took is still one of the greatest
Crikey.
film documentaries.
Oh, crikey.
It's a wild Zeke in his natural habitat.
Oh, he's angry.
You should have seen the first one though, because I talked Tanner into recording it for me, and so I went in there and did it, and that one was awesome. And then Tanner's like, "Oh no, I didn't hit record on the thing. He didn't hit
Did I
record.
not?
You didn't." And so I'm like, "Oh, you gotta do it again." And you're like, "I'm not doing it again." So I go in there and the whole thing's filmed selfie style. It's like, "Crikey, it's a wild Zinca's natural habitat. One bite, I'll be paralyzed from the waist down. I'm gonna get closer." freaking Z. But yeah, that was freaking hilarious.
That was one of the funniest things.
Oh,
Besides
my
the
goodness.
Harlem Shake video, I thought that was the funniest
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah, the Harlem Shake video
That lunch
I
break
made.
definitely went
you
more than
helped me
30
make.
minutes. That lunch break was longer than 30 minutes.
Yeah, we were on a lunch break.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like
After that,
any young peeps listening to this, like, what the heck is a Harlem Shake? Well, there was like a trend, like shortly after my years of high school, and I was just starting college. Apparently, there was a song called just Harlem Shake, and the trend was that okay, ouch. So there's with a song like there could be like one person that's like dancing in the room, and then everyone else in the room is just like
just kind of standing, loitering,
or just sitting, doing whatever. And then after a certain cue in the song, someone would say, "Do the Harlem Shake," and then like everybody would just be dancing. But what Ezra and I did was that I had Ezra dancing all alone in the center of that plant, and then what I did is that like I filmed Ezra at like 3 or 4 different spots, and so then I did some masking just to make it look like that he was all over the place. And then one of my high school buddies actually like walked out of the front office into the plant, and so like that was not planned. In fact, it was like good timing with that. Wait, where's that Hungry Llama?
That was hilarious. Oh my gosh.
It was a good video at the time.
I think so.
I think it's up. You go up and then go to your right. I think I saw it. Yeah.
I think on my current personal channel, I think my most viewed video has got to be Grumpy Cat versus Pokemon.
I think I've seen that. I think you showed me that before.
That was a good one.
Yeah, if I could go back in time and give myself some tips, like, hey, like, move the keyframes over here, just to like timing cues and stuff, I think it would have done like even more better.
I think so. That was a good video. I still think. Yeah, I sometimes though, like I miss working with all you young childrens.
I do too.
Like it was fun. It was fun for the most part. Like I mean, it was like a really stressful time just in general. But I think we had a good time and handled it well, more or less. I only made Eli cry once.
What did you do?
I yelled at him. He was. Oh my gosh! I thought you just died.
Oh no! It's like
no, I can't even remember. I think because I'd had to have gotten after him like a couple times that day for like not doing his job, and finally,
as you normally would do in most of them.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like, come on,
oh,
like
wait,
I want to.
on that side.
I want to be the cool uncle. I want to be the cool uncle, whatever it is. But it's like, dude, you got to do your job, please. Come on. But yeah, only that once. But I think we all had a pretty good time. And then he swore at me and flipped me off at one point too. So at least once.
At least he was comfortable enough to lose his temper next to you.
Oh yeah, I think he did it a couple times.
So funny.
Yeah.
I remember we were all petrified of Grandma if we would have walked in or something.
I know.
Did you get the one on the bottom of that one?
I don't know. Wait.
Yep. Every time you do that, it freaks me out. It's like, he's dead.
No, there isn't.
Okay, wait, hold on.
That's why I can't watch you play this freaking game. It kills my face.
Okay.
I remember, with these kids, my dad would always get after me. He's like, so and so's not doing their job. Okay. Okay, I'll take care of it. Cause like, he'd be like, like just make sure they're working hard, make sure they're doing it right. And like in my mind, I'm like, yo, they're like 12.
I could give.
Well, and like and at the end of the day, it's like I don't know, because that was always my goal. I wanted to be a buffer between you kids and him.
Dad?
Yeah.
Or grandpa?
Yeah, because he'd get pissy, and honestly, out of all my siblings, I was the only one that during cherries that would give him crap back.
Oh, I gotta say, I think you're the only one that knew how to like not handle it. I don't want to say handle. That sounds rude.
No, it is, because it's the truth. Because he get like all stressed out and like angry and whatnot, and he had the when his, I mean, you guys have all heard it. You'd hear that like his voice would get high and he'd do it right now. And so like he always had like the specific tone every time. You could tell when he was like getting worked up, and like I just tell him like, Dad, hey, go get a Diet Coke. I'll handle it. like don't trip. But yeah, I think handling it was accurate. But yeah, my goal was always to be a buffer between you guys. That way,
I think we appreciate that more than you know.
That way you guys didn't have to. Because I mean, I know sometimes it came through like the best times. So like I loved it when Sarah would grab you guys and like make you all go clean with her, because then it would always erupt into some crazy crap, like with my dad getting all mad at you, and her and him would get after each other too.
I worked with Sarah like once or twice, and it was crap show. But I remember
so
Eli telling me, he's like, dude, I got stuck in the old red shed behind the new one, and he's like, I was in there for like 3
the chemical
hours.
shed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was gross.
He's like, I was in there for 3 hours with Grandpa and Sarah, and we got stuck in it.
I know, that was so great.
Thing
That day, I was like, okay, so I know exactly the day he's talking about too, because
I feel so bad for him.
Well, we were getting ready for an inspection, right? And so the biggest problem with getting ready for an inspection, specifically for the types that we would go with, is hyper obsessing over a specific area. You couldn't do that, and it would be bad. That's why this guy Tanner was so important to that, because Tanner would compass the entire farm, do a walkabout. That's it. Do a walkabout. If you see something out of place, take care of it, or make a note of it, and then let me know so we can get it taken care of. Right? Like, let me know if something's a mess or like out of there. And so, I mean, because stuff will get left around all the time. Like you get tools, you have brooms, you had like water bottles or like other things that weren't good for an inspection. And Tanner knew that, right? So, owie, right between the two of them. But like, what was great is like, because Sarah and my dad would hyper obsess over a specific area, and it was magical. So I know you guys hated it, and I know Eli like about died doing that, but I thought it was hilarious, and I would come by specifically just to watch the chaos. It was wonderful because my dad and Sarah both have very similar personalities, my way or the highway kind of thing, which is great, especially when you put them together. That's even better. I love doing that. But then again, like, okay, so I'm the baby brother, right? Being
I could just go this way.
Being able to like watch the cast unfold was something that I completely is totally okay with. Like watching those two like get all pissy with each other because they were both like, well, no, we need to do it this way. We're gonna do this, and it was, and I just like. And there was times like that's part of why Eli would get grumpy at me, because I pull up and just like watch, and be like, how's it going, Eli? Just like walk out there and do that. Meanwhile, Tanner's out there taking care of literally everything else while they're hyper obsessed over this specific area.
And then they come back, they're like, oh, everything else is there.
Exactly. And so that was so funny. Like putting those two together was like my okay, so it was like my favorite pastime.
While you were at work, though.
Well, yeah, because I was taking care of stuff and like taking care of the line and making sure it was square, like. But like I said, like my dad and Sarah hyper obsess on specific areas. Yeah. It's very much my way, the highway. They're not particularly effective communicators when you're trying to get a task done, and so that was for me, really funny to put them together because it was just like watching fire and gasoline, and sometimes it's fun to just watch stuff blow up. And so,
I like how
so,
you stuck Eli in the middle.
oh, that was even better. Jake, I did that. He had enough street smarts to try to like get out of it. But Eli just kind of got stuck there, and he was there for like an hour.
I bet he didn't know what to do.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because Sarah just like grabs him, and I was like, "Bro, you're on your own."
You're like, "Good luck." He's like, "What?"
I'm like, "Yo, I'm not pulling you out of this." But I think like that whole thing, like getting ready for inspections, it wasn't too bad really. I mean, like as far. Then there was the year that the freaking like supply room caught on fire during the inspection.
Oh yeah,
I
I
remember
remember that.
underneath.
Yeah.
I remember that, and it was bad.
That
like,
was Zepha's close.
What even happened? Somebody left a stove on in there, right? Why was there an oven in there?
It was the old original break room, like back from the 80s.
Wow.
And so like we never used that, and because back then there was no. Yeah, it was a break room, but then it turned into, that's why we called it the lab, because you would need to like heat up samples and boil out sugars and things like that, so that like when you're selling a product, it had to have a specific spot, like some kind of chemical balance. But like it was years since we had to do that. But what had happened was we had a wrapping machine right in front of it. That like you would put boxes on, wrap it with like that banding machine.
Yeah, banding.
And so what happened is my aunt. So
was it Sarah?
No, it was Ann. Dead serious. I think it was. I saw the video footage and I'm 99.9% positive it was her. But here's the big but in that. That was such a freaking
Directions.
So like first of all, Gavin does an excellent impersonation of my aunt, by the way, when he does this. So
wait, who does an impression of Anne?
Gavin Gavin freaking nails it. So in fact that day I had just gotten done walking down on the dock, talking to Simon, seeing if he needed help or whatever down in the freezers. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's been a really good day. It's been pretty boring. Like we don't have anything crazy going on, right? Knock on wood. And I come back and I smelled something kind of burning. So I'm like, uh-oh. So I thought maybe an electric motor was getting too hot.
That's what I thought.
Kind of your average stuff. So I go over to the line and I'm looking, and then my dad calls me and I'm like, hey, and he's like, hey, do you smell smoke? And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to find out. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing smoke. He's like, I think it's coming from the electrical room over the office. Oh, crap. So I go up in there and I'm looking at him like, and I can smell it, but I don't see anything. But then I look over in the very corner, right above where that is, there's conduit going down, and there's a little bit of a gap in the floor because there's wood, and there's smoke. I mean, oh crap! And so I go out, and like I said, this is the impersonation that Gavin nails. So I remember walking out, and my aunt is down there. Where's the fire? like this, hands flapping, like that. And so, like I said, Gavin nails that impersonation. But so like I run down there, open it up, and it's just like we had all the paper products there. So like all the toilet paper for the season, all the paper towels for the season, hair nets, all of that just whoa, it's all like on fire. So I'm like, crap. So first thing I told him, I was like, hey, get the what's it called, the Balaton guys, get him out of here.
Yeah.
That's not going to be good for him.
Because really quick, I remember I think me and Jade went on a break. It wasn't lunch yet, but we're like, we smell something, and the room was the break room was starting to fill with smoke. I'm like, something's not right. So she goes and tells what's the other lady's name that works on the line with you that nobody really likes, but she's still.
Her name is Janet.
Janet. Mm-hmm. She's okay, but she tells her, and Janet starts freaking out as well. Mm-hmm. And then I was on the line, and I turn around, and you open the door, and I could see the flames. I'm like. Oh, that was nuts!
Crap. I got to play firefighter that day. Like I get the freaking fire extinguishers, and those things suck. By the way,
or is that
like,
those were the old silver ones?
No, they were good ones. They were the good ones, and like the thing is, I knew they were good because they had been inspected that spring, and because I had taken them and placed them out there, so I knew where every one of them was. I went and grabbed them, and so like I go in, I'd hold my breath, I'd open up the door, hit it till the fire extinguisher ran out.
And then
go back out, grab another one, and do that. So then I sent Gavin over, and he got the old respirator system that
I
we
remember
had.
that. You walking in there with a freaking gas mask or
well,
whatever.
because that's when we used for the ammonia leaks.
Mm-hmm.
And it was freaking lucky because I had found those in the brine building while I was cleaning it out. And, like, luckily they still worked. So I was breathing, like, 30-year-old air out of that tank. It wasn't
still
great.
better than smoke.
Still better than smoke. But, like, I went in there, and then that day, it was like, it went from, like, that being a great day to that being, like, a terrible day.
What does the inspector have to say about that?
Well, accidents happen. We still passed.
Did they rule? I was about to say, did he rule it as, like, an accident?
Oh, yeah, we still passed. Well, that was the thing, because, like, I told him. Because, like, I mean, in all reality, it was user error, and that stove shouldn't have been there in some kind of supply room.
Yeah. So,
context
what
like
is
that.
your with
so
the security footage? What is your theory?
So I saw Ann and the other forklift driver, because remember we used to store the paper products in the big warehouse.
Yes.
So
Yes.
her and the spare forklift driver, the rotating driver, they had gone out to go get more products, and then so he went in first, or no, she went in first, hauling a box, and then he went in. So it was her box that had gotten pushed up against the knob,
and turned
and somehow it just moved in just the right way, just the wrong way. And so from that day, that was so, like I said earlier that day, I had just gone over and talked to Simon. He's like, "How are things going?" I was like, "Oh, it's going great, man. In fact, I'm kind of bored. It's been a really good day. Knock on wood, never say that again." And then that happened. We finally got it done, and I'm like, "Okay, cool. It was done. Fire was out. The electric, and that was such a mess because that stove, like, I couldn't get the stuff off, so I had welding gloves, and I'm pulling this stuff out, this burning stuff, throwing it in a bin full of water, but, like, I couldn't get the stove to turn off because the knob was melted. So it was still on. So I told Greg, because he knew where I was. I was like, "Greg, can you cut the power up there?" He cut the power, but it was still on fire. So I'm like, "Okay, what do I need to do? I need to get rid of," or he said he couldn't get the power off to it. So I'm like, "Okay, so in that case, I need to get rid of the stove." So I go and I pull the stove, and first thing that happens is I rip the door off. I'm like, "That sucks." And so then I'm pulling it away from the wall, and it is screwed into the wall and hardwired into the wall. It wasn't designed to go anywhere. That stove would have been there after, like, the Yellowstone volcano explodes. It is there. And so I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, this is such a mess." So finally the dust kind of settles on that. It's like, all right, whatever, we're gonna clean this up after the season. We're gonna, like, we're just gonna cut this room off, whatever. It was good. Everything was back to normal. And I'm doing a walk down the line, and this dude from the IQF line comes up. He's like, "Hey, some old guy's, like, burning the field down outside," or he's like starting a fire out in the field. I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And I go out there, and the old dude is my dad. So what he had done was he had these paper towels, and he had carried them across the street to, like, put in the orchard in the dirt over there. And then the wind picked up, and there was, like, burning paper towels going through the orchard, and he's over there stomping
And some old guys burned down the field.
It was so funny. This dude, he just comes up. He's like, "Hey man, hey, Ezra, some old guy he's like, why do you feel like what's going on?" I was like, and, like, honestly, I'm thinking, I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Like,
what now?
And my honest thought was like, oh, because, like, what we had done was we had taken the stuff that had burned, dunked it in bins of water, and then I told Gavin, "Let's put them outside." So what I thought was like, did someone get on top of that and then, like, blow over? Like, are you serious here? And so then I go out, and there's my dad over there stomping on, like, 6 different little flames going on over there. And so, like, I run out there and, like, stomp it out with him. And by then, all the freaking fire extinguishers that were close by there were gone. So, like, I mean, the only way we could have put that out was just by stomping on it. It was ridiculous, dude.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh! So, some old guys out there burning the field. What?
Today, Dad.
Exactly. And it was in full view of the conference room where the inspection was going down.
I'm gonna say the inspectors, and they're, like, watching the manager and the owner of everything, like, what the frick is going on there?
This is the gate to the very first planet that we worked on when we started this playthrough. Since, like, last January, It's been that long
crap.
ago.
But that was the final thing you had to get?
Uh,
Big Star?
what?
Was that Big Star the last thing you had to
Like I told you, we already beat the main game.
Okay.
Right now we're just doing like post game stuff. We're like beating the game 100%.